This is Trend Following Radio, where great thinking comes alive. Nobel Prize winners, legendary traders, best-selling authors, and the pros that know what drive us irrational human beings. I am your host, Michael Covel. Not filtered, raw, honest. That's my passion. "86-year-old Clint Eastwood." I want to read some excerpts from a new interview that he's given to Esquire. Esquire asks him, "Your characters have become touchstones in the culture, whether it's Reagan invoking 'Make My Day' or now Trump. I swear he's even practiced your scowl." Eastwood responds, "Maybe, but he's onto something because secretly everybody's getting tired of political correctness, kissing up. That's the kiss-ass generation we're in right now. We're really in a pussy generation. Everybody's walking on eggshells. We see people accusing people of being a racist and all kinds of stuff. When I grew up, those things weren't called racist. And then when I did the movie Gran Torino, even my associates said, 'This is a really good script, but it's politically incorrect.' And I said, 'Good. Let me read it tonight.' The next morning I came in and I threw it on his desk and I said, 'We're starting this immediately.'" Esquire asks, "What is the pussy generation?" Eastwood, "All these people say, 'Oh, you can't do that and you can't do this and you can't say that.' I guess it's just the times." I implore you to go read the whole interview. I'm going to pull a few more excerpts. Esquire continues and asks Eastwood, "You've campaigned for office. If you were going to write a stump speech for this election, what would you say?" Eastwood, "Knock it off. Knock everything off. All these people out there rattling around the streets and stuff, shit. They're boring everybody. Chesty Puller, a great Marine general, once said, 'You can run me, and you can starve me, and you can beat me, and you can kill me, but don't bore me.' That's exactly what's happening now. Everybody is boring everybody. It's boring to listen to all of this shit. It's boring to listen to these candidates." Esquire continues, "What would you like to see change?" Eastwood, "I'd say get to work and start being more understanding of everybody. Instead of calling everybody names, start being more understanding. But get in there and get it done. Kick ass and take names. And this may be my dad talking, but don't spend what you don't have. That's why we're in the position we are in right now. That's why people are saying, 'Why should I work? I'll get something for nothing maybe.' And going around talking about going to college for free. I didn't go to college for free. I mean, it was cheap because I went to LA City College. It wasn't like going to a major university, but it was okay. And then, I didn't finish because I decided to become an actor and ruin my whole life." Apparently there was laughs at that comment. And Eastwood continues with one of his answers, and I'm going to leave it here. He says, "It haunts me," and he's talking about his father. "It haunts me when I think of all the assholes out there who are complaining. I saw people who really had it bad. There was no welfare to fill the bill there. The guy just wanted a sandwich. Hopefully later on, he got a job somewhere. He was a guy trying to exist, and that's the way people were then." I do love that. An 86-year-old tough guy telling us all that modern society has become this feminized bunch, as he describes it, pussies. Now, I wanted to intro with that just to lay the foundation for cutting through the bullshit. And today, I want to go through, explain, add to some of my trend-following commandments, my trend commandments. And I'm going to read these with the energy that Eastwood has now given me, because I just love that somebody is saying, enough. Let's cut to the chase. Let's cut all the BS out. Let's stop complaining. Let's stop asking everybody for something. Let's stop sitting there like clapping seals when some politician promises you something. No, make it happen. And along those lines of making it happen, I want you to consider these trend-following commandments. Trading. Traders are different. They have a defined strategy to profit in all climates. Trend-following traders do not care what they buy or sell as long as they make money. Look, we're not in this to prove our IQ. Who gives a shit? I don't care if you're smart. I don't care if you think I'm smart. Maybe we're all as dumb as a box of rocks. We're just in this to make money. Now, I'm not trying to give you a life treatise at this moment in time or a life philosophy. I'm talking about trading. And if you're in the game of trading, you're there for one reason, to make money. Any other reason, go see a shrink, buy a dog, do something else. Absolute returns. Trend following makes big money. Big money. Go out right now on the internet and find a compound calculator and look at the difference between compounding 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%. It's dramatically different. Look at that performance chart over 40 years for Bill Dunn. Absolutely amazing to compare Bill Dunn's performance over 40 years to the S&P. Up and down trends. This trend following thing, it's all about making money in up or down markets, bull or bear. You're not going to make money in sideways markets. But you know what? It only takes you, a few minutes to go out there and realize that trends are the norm. Trends don't go away. If we had only flat markets, we might want to go investigate what happened to human nature. Ain't going to happen. Tail risk. Trend following does exceptionally well when market bubbles pop, when the black swan appears, the big event. For example, trend following made huge money during the stock crash 1973 to 74, Black Monday 1987, Barings Bank 1995, long-term capital management and the Asian crisis over 1997, 1998, huge money. The stock crash 2000 to 2002, huge. 9/11, 2001. The Great Recession, 2008, 2009. October 2008, trend following massive performance right when the rest of the world thought all financial markets were going to implode. The oil market, 2014 to 2016. Brexit, 2016. Go look at the performance for Paul Mulvaney, one of the traders featured in my little book, the day after Brexit. Amazing. Portfolio diversification. Trend following returns are uncorrelated to traditional investments. That means, quite simply, in non-statistical jargon, it's going to zig differently and at different times than stocks zag. And if stocks zag, that doesn't necessarily mean trend following will zig the other way in the exact opposite direction in the exact amount. No. Correlation of 0, which is where trend following is typically at compared to the S&P, just means it has an entirely different performance driver. Works on all markets. Trend following doesn't trade one market alone, and it trades all markets. Why? Because we're damn human beings. What are these markets? These markets are just us going there trying to buy and sell with all of our biases embedded. So it doesn't make a difference whether you're trading corn or gold or Apple Computer. It doesn't make any difference. Inefficient markets. Trend following goes against the academic nonsense of the efficient markets hypothesis. Markets are not efficient. I don't care what you've learned, at what university, and what PhD you got. Markets aren't efficient. Research. Trend following has profited for centuries. Centuries. Go look at the research from AQR, from ISAM, from CFM. Those are 3 very large funds that have trend following strategies throughout their efforts. They've done the work. They've put the research out there. You can see what has happened over the centuries. Nurture beats nature. Winning traders don't have a special divine gene, a divine gift, innate talent, inside knowledge, or huge starting capital. They basically practice and have big balls. Seriously. Anyone that tells you that you need to be at Goldman Sachs or have a PhD simply doesn't want you as competition. And you want the great nurture trumping nature example? Go read my book, The Complete Turtle Trader. Then come back to me and tell me how much that PhD in Goldman Sachs really matters. Everything flows. Trend followers react to market movements and follow along without a story about why. That means if the market is trending, if Facebook is going straight up, you're not sitting around wondering whether or not people will continue to sign up for Facebook, whether or not their ad system will work. Who gives a shit? It's going straight up. You should be long. That's it. That's all you need to know. And when it goes the other direction, you have an exit. Statistical thinking is paramount. During a Monday Night Football game, Ron Jaworski put numbers in perspective. Quote, "Play calling is about probability, not certainty." End quote. You want to tell me what will happen tomorrow? You, my friend, are so full of shit. I don't want to be so crass and vulgar, but if you've got a prediction for what you think is going to happen tomorrow or next week or next month, and you want me to believe you, I can't get any better than shit. Market bubbles. The mythological 100-year flood happens all the time. Since 1929, there have been 18 market crashes, and they are always rooted in irrational exuberance. The excitement of the crowd. People going nuts. We're all going to get rich immediately. It's going to happen overnight. We're going to be the next Zuckerberg, the next Gates, the next Steve Jobs. No, you're not. You're going to get burned. You want to have a chance to compete with Zuckerberg? Then you need to create a business. You're not going to be the next Buffett. Ain't going to happen. But if you do want to trade in the markets and you do understand that bubbles happen all the time, there are ways to trade these damn things. And trend following is the absolute best way. Fundamentals are religion. To paraphrase trader Paul Tudor Jones, the illusion has been created that there is an explanation for every market move with the primary task to find that explanation. He is spot on. Trend following is not about news, fundamentals, chart patterns. It's not day trading. If you're searching for why, I have to ask why. There's more than enough evidence that says to you that trying to find out why a market is moving is a waste of time. So if you're going to spend your life trying to find out why a market is moving, when that's truly not the most efficient way to make money, but if you're going to stay there, then why are you not calling up Dr. Phil and getting on his couch? Why are you not going to a shrink? Why are you a masochist? What is wrong with you? Look, I'm not trying to say that I'm all that. I'm not trying to say I'm the smartest guy in the block. I'm just pointing out that the evidence, and I'm giving a little flair with it and a little passion, but the evidence says you don't need to know why. So logically, if you are going to spend your life in pursuit of why, when supposedly the objective is to make money, then I would just have to say you need to go see a shrink. You need to see a therapist. You need to find out what's wrong with you. My guess is you probably have multiple things going on in your life that are all messed up if you're messing up on this why question in the markets as well. The market is never wrong. People scream nonstop for the market to go their direction. Then they hang on and pray it'll come back if it doesn't go in their favor. The market is never wrong. Whatever the price is right now is right. And if you're on the wrong side of right, then you're wrong. I'm not trying to be some Zen master as I say this, but just think about it. The market price is right. It's accurate. It's correct. If you're trying to argue with it, back to Dr. Phil's couch. You have to bet to win. Take a big risk if you want a big reward. If you want an average reward, take an average risk. No balls, no babies. However, as Larry Hite said, don't bet your deli to win a pickle. I've not seen Larry since December in his house in New York City, Central Park South. Great view of the park. I think fondly back to when Larry sat there and looked at me inside his house and said, man, what a great accomplishment for a kid from Brooklyn. He wasn't bragging. He was just saying to himself and to me, I've come a long way. I love that stuff. Motivating as hell. Process beats outcome. Do you want to be right or do you want to be rich? You got no control over the results. You have control over your action. You can only control how much you are willing to lose. That's a big picture one, isn't it? You can control how much you're willing to lose. Can't control how much you're going to make, but you can cut those losses on the downside. Think like Kenny Rogers. If you must play, decide upon 3 things at the start: the rules of the game, the stakes, and quitting time. As he's saying so eloquently, you've got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. And damn it, that applies to a hell of a lot more than trading, doesn't it? That applies to friends, family, relationships, business opportunities. You've got to know when to run. Because many times running, that's the path to salvation. That's the path to feeling better. That's the path to coming back to play again another day. Behavioral biases. I challenge anyone out there to find a podcast that has more psych geniuses on their show. I have curated, interviewed, cultivated the absolute best minds that back up all of what I'm saying today. Yeah, I'm saying it with a harsh edge. Yeah, I'm saying it with a little bit of passion. But my podcast series with all of these psych pros, from Daniel Kahneman to Vernon Smith to Charles Faulkner, the list goes on and on and on. You must dig into that list. You must listen to every last one of them. Learn to love losses. P.T. Barnum, he famously said, "This way to the egress." And he did that because he had all these big crowds in a circus tent that wanted to stay there and look at the attraction. So he put a sign up that said, "This way to the egress." People didn't know what the hell it really meant. It meant exit, and he would trick them to leave the tent. Famed trader Amos Hofstadter, the grandfather of Commodities Corporation, the legendary trend-following incubator. If he lost 25%, he'd get out. Quote, "Never mind the cheese, let me out of the trap." That's a brilliant one, isn't it? Never mind the cheese, let me out of the trap. Technology is no mistress. Pablo Picasso famously said, "Computers are useless, they can only give you answers." Start by answering your daily market questions in advance. Automating answers is the easy part. Zero-sum battles are life. If you're going to win, someone else will lose. Does survival of the fittest make you uneasy? Then get the hell out of the zero-sum game. Not everyone wins. I mean, oh yes, when you have a central bank geared up stock market where everyone is long, it feels like in the moment that everyone's winning. But when the dust settles, let's just see what the conversation looks like then. Hero worship kills accounts. When those TV pundits come on and they say it's time to buy Google or dump Apple, I'm still amazed after all of these years that people listen. Millions follow that advice randomly and blindly. Hey, let me put it to you really succinctly. The pundits on TV that want you to listen, they're no better than Jim Jones down there in Guyana serving Kool-Aid. Buy and hold or hope is dead. Buy and hold works only for investors who live forever. Right? It also only works for those who believe in magical thinking and pixie dust. Mutual funds and cosmetics, they both sell hope. And again, that hope looks fantastic when everybody is long and at all-time highs, because there's nowhere for it to go except up. No balance sheets. It does not matter if you're trading stocks or soybeans. Trading is trading, and the name of the game is to make money, not to get an A in how to read a balance sheet. This gets back to my comment about obtaining a PhD. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with obtaining that PhD. Some of the best trend following traders have just that. But that's not why they're successful. And that's the key part for you. Why are they successful? You need to understand that in your heart of hearts. No tops and bottoms. Trend following aims to capture the middle meat of a trend. That middle meat of a trend up or down for profit. You will never get in at the absolute bottom or get out at the absolute top. And if you find yourself looking at a chart and saying, well, if I just would have got in here and got out up here, come on, man, you even know that's bullshit. You know that's not how it works. Don't kid yourself. Have markets changed? Not only have markets changed, they will continue to change. A quote that I love. If you have a valid market philosophy, learning to accept that change and flow with it is your greatest asset. No matter how ridiculous market moves appear at the beginning, and no matter how extended or irrational they seem at the end, following trends is the rational choice in a chaotic, changing world. That quote is exactly how the owner of the Red Sox made his trend-following fortune. True reality. If you want to make money in any market, you need to mirror what the market is doing. Other things being equal, the longer you stay right with the market, the more money you will make. The longer you stay wrong with the market, the more money you will lose. It all seems so simple, doesn't it? Price makes markets the same. You do not need to know anything about bonds. You do not need to understand the different currencies. They're just numbers. Corn is a little different than bonds, but not different enough to trade them differently than, let's say, gold. Some people have a different system for each market. That's absurd. You're trading mob psychology. You're not trading corn, soybeans, or the S&P. You are merely trading numbers. For new people to the markets, that's probably one of the most difficult concepts to grasp. Because ultimately, this is like a video game of some sort. What I just read is the foundation behind why the MIT blackjack team did so well. It's no longer about the actual investment. It's simply saying to yourself, there's this thing we call the markets out there. They move around, it's unpredictable, and there's a number that all of these markets trade at in any given point in time. So if we want to try and make money, how can we buy the best and exit the best over the long term to make the most money possible? An entirely different proposition than sitting around trying to wait on the next prediction or the next pile of bullshit to come down the pike. No discretion. You cannot test or simulate how you were feeling when you got out of bed 15 years ago when you're looking at historical simulations. If you're going to trade using a system, you must slavishly use the system and avoid discretionary overrides. You do whatever the hell the system says, no matter how smart or dumb you might think it is at that moment. I can't tell you how many people, often inexperienced, will acquire a trend following system. They will start to apply it. And then they will write me and say, can I do this instead? If I feel this way on a certain day, can I change it? Can I change the system? Man, where goes the logic? How can you take a set of rules that you are supposed to follow with certainty and then add in how you might be feeling on a particular day back to the pundits that are screaming and yelling on TV, telling you and only you, because no one else is listening, of course, that you must take action? Trend following and discretion do not blend well. Proper betting. If you have $100,000 and you want to trade gold, well, how much of your $100,000 will you trade on gold on your first trade? Are you going to trade all $100,000? What if you're wrong? What if you're wrong in a big way and you lose your entire $100,000 on one bet? Not so smart. prenuptial agreement. The paramount factor when the market goes against you is being able to say, I'm out. You need that prenuptial agreement with the market. That means the time to think most clearly about when you will exit is before you ever get into the damn trade. You want to know when you're getting out before you ever get in. Just write that rule down. Put it up and hang it on your refrigerator. I will know when I'm getting out before I ever get in. And you can send me the commission check now for saving you millions of dollars over the course of a lifetime, and probably making millions as well. Home run trades. A trend-following baseball coach would approach it like the former manager of the Baltimore Orioles. Earl Weaver designed his offenses to maximize the chance of a 3-run homer. Weaver did not bunt or want guys who slapped singles. He wanted guys who could hit big home runs. Get on base, hit big home runs. And that big home runs mentality, that's trend following. But you've got to put the rules in place to get the home runs. If you don't have the rules in place, the home runs don't follow. And my last one for today, one of my favorites of all time, the Babe Ruth parallel. Babe Ruth struck out a lot, but he was one of baseball's greatest sluggers. His home runs made up for the strikeouts. And in trend following, many times you will get into a trade hoping it will go your direction, and it goes the other direction, and you have to get out with your stop. And that could happen 5, 6, 7, 8 times in a row. And you've got to follow the rules. But if you keep swinging and you have discipline, you're going to get the home run that pays for the strikeouts. That's really how the world works. We've invented this other fantasy about how the world works, that somehow or another failure doesn't really happen. But failure's the secret. That's the secret to success. That's the magic elixir. If you're willing to fail, if you're willing to look really bad in failure, but you know from the beginning that you're going to keep trying, you are on the ride, the right ride for your life. And if you're one of those poor saps out there that's scared to death of failing, scared to death to take a loss, okay, I like you. You know why? It's a zero-sum game. I'm going to take your losses. I'm going to eat you alive. And I'm going to enjoy it all the way to the bank. Do not ever stop being you. I want people out there to think that they will win every time. I want people out there to never take a loss. They are my wins. I see a time when those awake will understand how to make money in up, down, and surprise markets. Whether new trader or experienced, college student or financial advisor, protecting against a crash or just trying to make a lot of money, trend following offers everyone an answer in uncertain times. To get started immediately, send me an email, michael@covel.com. I will send you the right trend following steps to take along with my free video. But if you want to buy and hold, trust the government and trust Wall Street, this is absolutely not for you.